Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we will be covering part 2 of what if Anakin told Obi Wan about his nightmares of Padme. So what I've done is put part 1 at the beginning of this video for everyone who hasn't seen it, or if you'd like to watch it again, here it is. For those of you who have seen it, I'll put a timestamp up on the screen now so you can skip there for part 2. Thank you to the voice actor for helping out once again. I will leave his links in the description below, please go check him out. Okay, without any further ado, let's get into it. Hey guys, so in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin receives visions of Padme dying in childbirth. This drove him insane and was a leading factor that turned Anakin to the dark side. Although confiding some emotions to Yoda, he wasn't that helpful, with his advice being the only thing Anakin couldn't do, which was let go of Padme. So what if, after Yoda gave him this impossible solution, he decided to go to his master? That's where today's story will begin. Anakin and Obi Wan were very close. Despite their title being master and apprentice, they were more like brothers compared to anything. Anakin did trust Obi Wan, and he meant a great deal to him. It would only be because of the Council's continued distrust in Anakin and them not believing he was the chosen one that caused their demise. As Anakin was strutting the halls after leaving his session with Yoda, he found Obi Wan. "Master, may I have a word?" Anakin begins. "Are you alright, Anakin?" Anakin exhales. He breathes slow but vivid. He glances at Obi Wan but swiftly shifts his gaze out of the Jedi Temple window to the never-ending city below. Anakin didn't know where to start. "I am sensing the future, getting visions of..." Anakin paused. Deep down he always felt that Obi-Wan knew of his relationship with Padme. "Getting visions of Padme," Anakin finished. Obi-Wan looked at Anakin wary, but not jumping to any conclusions or getting flustered by his words. "Anakin, if you are speaking out of love for Padme, you must tell me. I have had my suspicions, but I can only help if you are honest with me." Anakin shut his eyes once more. Perhaps he could get some real advice if he tells his master everything, instead of being so vague like with Yoda. "As I am sure you're aware, Master, Padme is pregnant and I am the father. My attachment for her is strong. I guess it always has been. These visions I speak of show her dying in childbirth. The baby is with her too. I don't know what to do, Master. I can't lose her." Kenobi was perplexed. He expected Anakin to admit his feelings for her and maybe need some relationship advice, but this he did not expect. Obi-Wan paused. He did for a while. He stroked his chin with his fingertips as he tried to conjure the words to speak. "Anakin, I am on your side. I didn't want to put you in a situation that makes you feel vulnerable." Obi-Wan explains to Anakin that he should confess these thoughts and feelings to the Jedi Council. The Order isn't as black and white, and in some cases they listen to the wishes of their students and masters. Kenobi was especially worried that Anakin would look elsewhere for answers to his problems, by following his fear and potentially exploring the dark side. Ultimately, the exact thing that he did in Revenge of the Sith. After a lengthy discussion with Anakin, he ends up agreeing with Obi-Wan and feels that it is worth a try. At this point, he needed answers, and wasn't fully considering the consequences. They left to speak with the Council. The Council is shocked by the words of Anakin, as whispers and mutters control the chambers before everyone stops talking. "For how long have you and the Senator been together?" Anakin is asked. "Almost 3 years, Master." "And what was your plan when the child was born? Hide her from us?" I really don't know, Masters. I just want Padme to be safe." Yoda looked around the room, and then back at Anakin. Okay, Skywalker," Yoda finishes. The Council also explained that they knew of the Jedi in the past who could cheat death by helping those around them. teach you this ability, we will, and allow you to stay in the Order. Anakin learned that the Jedi were actually quite forgiving and could bend the rules to the code if they wished. He was told about Ki-Adi-Mundi, a strong and respected Jedi in the Order. He had a family of his own with many children. Mundi did not let his emotions or feelings for his family dictate his actions, but learned to control and harness his feelings to benefit himself. The Council's decision may have also been influenced by the fact that Anakin was the chosen one. Deep down they knew that they needed him to help bring balance to the Force. The Jedi's trust in Anakin increased. He had risked getting expelled from the Order but needed guidance and told them everything. In the meeting, they told Anakin of a mission they had for him, to spy on the Chancellor and report all of his dealings. Despite being a little confused, Anakin had appreciated their kindness just now and accepted his mission, leaving the chambers. Anakin would spend the next few weeks learning of his new ability, but more importantly, respecting the Council's wishes of spying on Palpatine. Receiving word that the Chancellor wants to see him, he goes to the opera where he finds Palpatine. This is where everything changes. He learns of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Palpatine's words are filled with manipulation and are very cunning. The words that roped him in so deep in Revenge of the Sith. That would have happened again if Palpatine knew the whole truth, which he did not. Palpatine had no idea of Anakin confiding his thoughts and feelings to the Council. Yes, he knew that Anakin was to spy on him, but not knowing this crucial detail changes everything. Anakin's views on the Jedi had completely shifted. He still did not agree with many of their rules, however had a newfound appreciation and even love for them, after helping him so much when he was at his lowest. The least he could do was help repay this kindness. Anakin leaves Palpatine in a hurry, rushing to the Jedi Temple and back into the chambers, storming into the meeting and interrupting the Jedi.
Anakin, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Yoda was particularly intrigued. From his 900 years alive, he had never heard of such a tale.
Skywalker, learn of this legend. Where did you?
Chancellor Palpatine, my master. Everyone in the room piped up, spouting their opinions.
Let's get him.
He's the Sith Lord.
How does he know all of this?
Mace Windu spoke up.
We must arrest the Chancellor, Master Yoda. We can bring an end to the war once and for all.
I agree.
Yoda followed. The Jedi left their seats, wasting no time. They left for Palpatine's office, sparing no one. Almost a dozen Republic gunships landed as the Jedi entered Palpatine's office.
Master Jedi,
Palpatine said. He looked up to see maybe 30, if not 40 Jedi standing in front of him. Palpatine gulped. For once, he felt nervous.
In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you are under arrest, Chancellor.
Jedi approached from all sides, cornering him in as he looked down. Palpatine raised his hands before throwing them to the ground, casting the largest force push of his life. The Jedi were all flung to the wall. Although most stepped straight back to their feet, Palpatine had sliced a hole through the window and escaped to the city below. The Jedi exhaled slowly. Mace cussed in anger at him getting away, but this was also a victory. They had full access to the security recordings, which allowed them to very easily explain to the Senate what's happening. The Senate believed them, and Palpatine was removed from office. At this point, it didn't really matter to Palpatine. Once the Jedi figured out his identity, the position of Chancellor meant nothing to him. Bail Organa would be elected as the next Supreme Chancellor to replace Palpatine. This would prove extremely beneficial for the Republic. Someone like Bail could focus the future on discussing the conflict, not resulting in fighting always. Something that Palpatine would never let happen. Since his removal from office, Palpatine was a very busy man who needed a new plan. He had lost Anakin, pretty much for good now, which to him was a scary prospect. However, he moved on and sought out a new plan, one involving the same cunning and devious tactics of using Order 66. After all, the capabilities of this order are incredibly great, as we saw in Revenge of the Sith. Since the loss of Count Dooku, he would need a new apprentice. He still has Grievous, who he would utilize, however he wouldn't be enough. Palpatine travels to Mandalore, where he finds his old apprentice Maul, who has become a very powerful man in recent years. As Palpatine strutted towards him, Maul felt the same presence that he did around a year ago when Sidious came to Mandalore and killed his brother.
Master, what brings you here? If you think you can defeat me again, you are gravely mistaken.
On the contrary, I am in need of your abilities, my former apprentice.
What do you mean?
Palpatine looked at Maul, honestly impressed that he had still managed to survive after losing to Obi Wan and escaping his own imprisonment.
I have a plan which requires your strengths since the pitiful Dooku was killed. I need a new apprentice. Join my side again as Darth Maul, and together we will destroy the Jedi once and for all.
Maul looked towards Palpatine stunned. He never thought that he'd hear these words again, but he was mistaken.
I will do whatever you ask of me, Master.
Although Maul had a hatred for Palpatine, his hate for the Jedi far outweighed that of Palpatine. Plus, after they destroy the Jedi, then he could make a move on his master and take the galaxy for himself. They left Mandalore and regrouped with General Grievous, who was still alive at this point. Since Palpatine's identity had been revealed to the Jedi, his plans was in ruins. The prodigy of Anakin was entirely lost, unless he did something soon to try and keep his grip on the boy alive. Padme would also give birth to Luke and Leia soon, which meant all of Anakin's worries would be false and he would not turn to the dark side. Instead, Palpatine had to focus on something new. He couldn't wait around for another chosen one to be born or spend years training the next Sith Lord. He had waited his whole life for this, and it had all gone wrong under his eyes. Palpatine had not completely lost though. He still had many tricks up his sleeves which he could employ to make the dark side win. Palpatine sat in front of Maul and Grievous to explain his new plan as they flew to Coruscant.
The clones have been bred for combat, but it is I who orchestrated their construction. Upon my command, they will join us and destroy the Jedi. Our plan is simple. We march into the Jedi Temple, and together with the clones, we kill every last Jedi in the galaxy.
As they land at Coruscant, they exit their ship to the entrance to the Jedi Temple. With their hoods up, the three villains march up the stairs towards the temple, just as Anakin did in Revenge of the Sith with the 501st Legion behind him. The dark, cold air grazed their faces as they prophesied the future of the evening. When they walked, they passed two temple guards who Maul quickly snapped their necks. They would have to be quick. Once the fighting began, it wouldn't slow until one side was victorious. There were thousands of clones already at the temple, but when Palpatine executes Order 66, more are bound to show up. They strut into the temple as Mace Windu, Plo Koon and Ki-Adi-Mundi approach them, telling them to stop.
The time of the Jedi is over. Move aside for the future of the galaxy.
The Jedi ignite their lightsabers as the colors rebound off their disturbed faces. "We will end this once and for all," Mace spoke.
Right you are as always, Master Windu. We will end it now.
Palpatine pulls out his comlink and mutters the words,
Execute Order 66.
Lightsabers throughout the entire Jedi Temple ignite as the Masters begin to hear gunfire. Maul, Palpatine, and Grievous ignite their lightsabers and attack. They were ferocious, displaying no mercy at all. There was absolutely nothing the Masters could do. First Plo Koon died after receiving Maul's blade through his abdomen. Ki-Adi-Mundi would follow soon after being shot in the back by clone troopers. Grievous leaped from Jedi to Jedi, slicing them in the blink of an eye. He preferred the Padawans and Knights. They were faster to kill, their lightsabers more easy to take for his collection. Mace Windu was powerful, arguably the most powerful Jedi alive at this time, but he was no match for the combined strength of Maul and Sidious. He did what he could, but Maul trained and bred purely to kill the Jedi. And Palpatine, Dark Lord of the Sith, master of all 7 forms of fighting style. Palpatine disarms and kills Mace Windu. The 3 villains moved to create absolute chaos in the temple, killing whoever they saw, not giving them a chance to speak their final words. Their dead corpses hung from the ceiling as the Force kept them in place. The bodies of younglings spread across the floor as more clones continued to shoot at the defenseless Jedi. The stench of bodies would carry for miles as anyone near the temple could hear their screams of fallen Jedi. From the council chambers come Anakin and Yoda running. They ignite their lightsabers as they cut down their fellow clones, trying to find whoever was behind this. All they could sense was darkness. Anakin rounds the corner to see Palpatine slicing Jedi to the floor. Palpatine, Anakin shouts.
Ah, the pitiful boy. I was wondering when you would show up.
You won't get away with this. The Jedi are strong, and we protect those in need. You will not take that away from us. Anakin had surely changed now. Since talking to Obi Wan about his visions, he was finally able to see the light. He ignited his blue lightsaber and attacked Palpatine. Anakin had never felt so much power before, each swing so precise and strong, displaying deadly motions. With the wrong sense of lust, he would surely turn to the dark side. But he calmed himself. He channeled the light and focused on saving the Republic. As their blades continued to meet with each blow, Palpatine was losing. He couldn't keep up with the Chosen One's speed and power. Was this the prophecy? Was he supposed to die to Anakin? Is that how the light would remain? Anakin found an opening in Palpatine's defense and swung the blade, killing him. Just as Palpatine took his final breath, Anakin Skywalker rose above him, the Chosen One fulfilling the prophecy. He turns to his left where he sees the machine of Grievous being torn to shreds with the Force. Yoda had made quick work of him. Now all that's left was the infamous Maul. As Maul scurried from the battlefield, he ran towards his ship. He couldn't stay any longer, or his fate would be the same as Palpatine and Grievous. He knew this. Anakin's robes billowed behind him as he watched Maul try to escape. He had unlocked his true power in the Force now. Anakin didn't run, nor did he show any eagerness to catch up to him. He simply walked, like a triumphant man who had just won a battle. Maul leaps into his ship, turning the engine on and preparing to fly away. Anakin signals to some troops, not clones but simply Coruscant warriors, who he was accustomed to before the Clone Wars. They set up their weapons and fired towards the ship, blowing it to pieces. Darth Maul was dead, and along with him, the Sith. All that was left now was defeating the clones. The Jedi would eventually be able to do so. It took a while, and more Jedi lost their lives in the process, but the clone army was destroyed, and the Republic was saved. From there, the Jedi slowly began to rebuild. Their numbers were the lowest they had ever been in generations, but with Yoda still at the helm, and eventually Anakin, who took over as Grand Master after Yoda passed away, the Jedi would grow into a power that would spread protection across the galaxy for centuries to come. Thank you guys so much for watching today's fanfiction. I hope you liked me putting part 1 at the beginning of this video for you. Watching the story the entire way through makes it feel whole, instead of having to click a separate video for part 2. I'm sorry if some of the pictures were the same throughout the video. I made part 1 over a month ago now, so for the story I was bound to repeat some photos a lot. Let me know what you thought of the story in the comments below. I felt that Palpatine would not wait another few decades for another hope to rise. That's just why I had him go and find Maul again. He is also incredibly strong and trained to kill the Jedi. Order 66 is such a powerful tool that would have created so many problems for the Jedi in any scenario. The Sith could have won this situation pretty easily, but I wanted to give Anakin a happy ending. He definitely deserved one after opening up to Obi Wan and the Council at the beginning of the video. It would have felt wrong if he still turned to the dark side after all of that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and may the Force be with you.